Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Somewhere in Hollywood, the podcast/cinema game show that spans the world of Hollywood. How this works is our guest will choose a card from the director's deck. Their card will contain the name of a movie, actor or actress, director, or even genre related to some of Hollywood's hottest stars, films, or properties of both the past and the present. I, along with my guest, will hold an impromptu 10-minute discussion regarding the subject. Our very special guest for our first episode of Somewhere in Hollywood is major Hollywood mogul himself, Stumbles. What's up, Stums?
Not too much. How you doing?
Good, pretty good.
Good.
All right, so you ready for this?
I guess so.
All right, Stumbles, where are we going in Hollywood?
Well, I drew actor, great Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, what a great subject for our first episode.
Since I'm not the guy like you that knows all about the movies, I got a pretty famous guy, you know.
Perfect. I love it for the first episode, and the clock is running.
Yeah.
So, Stums, when you hear Jack Nicholson, what comes to mind?
Like a shady character.
Shady character.
Part. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I agree.
Dark kind of guy.
We definitely got one of the most acclaimed and best actors, you know, of modern day.
Yep. So I remember way back, I believe it was 1969. He was in, first time I ever saw him, he was in Easy Rider.
Easy Rider.
Yeah, like he was like the great side character.
Right,
know?
Yeah.
You know, so.
I've never seen Easy Rider, and it was on a short list of movies I was going to watch this weekend.
I think I went back and saw it like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I know the soundtrack's real famous and everything you have.
You know, it's kind of dated, you know. Like,
yeah, of course.
Hey man, what's happening, man? You know, that kind of thing. But he was a great character. Like he was like, I think he was like a Southern lawyer.
Okay.
And then he tries to help them, the two, you know, Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. He tries to help them out.
What are they like? They're like bikers, right?
Yeah, they're bikers. Yeah, they're going across country. You know?
Okay.
And he's a big drunk, and I think they all end up in jail together.
Okay.
And, you know, the bikers for no reason of their own.
Right. Are they up to no good, or are they just cross country?
They were just kind of cross country. You know,
awesome.
They're using a lot of drugs and stuff, of course.
Okay.
And so then Jack ends up going with them. They're going to New Orleans.
Right.
You know, coming from the West, going to New Orleans, and you know he smokes dope for the first time and all that. And, they have him riding on the back of the bike, going like, "Do you want to be a bird?" And he's flapping his wings, and it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Totally.
That's what I remember the first time about him.
Yeah. And so obviously I've known him my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, he's been around my whole life. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, like, another one thing is one of my all-time favorite movies and books was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was my mom's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's a classic, too, yeah.
One of the greats.
Yeah. I know I'm forgetting a lot of his movies.
Yeah, right. But hey, I got his IMDb.
Like when I got that first 3 things I thought of was Easy Rider, The Shining, and Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, I was going to bring up The Shining and Cuckoo's Nest for sure.
Yeah.
So I'd say probably the first time I was introduced to Jack Nicholson was in Tim Burton's Batman 1989, where he played the Joker.
Yeah.
So that was like the first comic book movie I saw.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, he was great in that. Nicholson's just one of the greatest. And in my adult life, I maybe 5 years back, I finally discovered Chinatown, which is
I forgot
one of the greats. You know, one of the greatest movies of all time. He's fantastic.
Yeah, that's like often mentioned as like top 10 of all time movies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you actually just got me the book about Chinatown for Christmas.
Yeah, I bought the title, didn't know what it was.
Yeah, the big goodbye.
What was the title of it? The
Big Goodbye.
Yeah,
it's about just how Chinatown. I don't know if you're aware, but it's considered to be like one of the greatest just scripts of all time. It's like people call it like the perfect fucking like screenplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think it's about that, and just like it says, the last days of Hollywood. So I'm excited to crack into that once I finally wrap up my books now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chinatown. Yeah, if you've when's the last time you've seen Chinatown? You think
probably 25 years ago.
Yeah. Just John Huston, Roman Polanski directed that, and that was in the 70s after the Manson stuff went down.
Is that before he got thrown out of the country?
Yeah, it was. But it was just with the, that movie has like a sense of paranoia surrounding it, and he was just paranoid after, the unfortunate Manson murders and everything. So. Yeah. But yeah, I discovered that, maybe, like 5 years ago, and that's like a one of my newer favorite movies of all time for sure. I absolutely love it. What else? Yeah, so The Shining, is that on your short list of like best scare horror movies?
I didn't think it was the greatest, but it was good.
He does fantastic.
It was scary, he was great in it.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
The famous "Here's Johnny" scene.
It's probably his most famous scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, and it was. What's his name?
Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick, director.
Yeah, but I mean the writer.
Oh, Stephen King.
Stephen King. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen King. That's probably the best movie of his books.
Yeah. Do you know he hates the movie adaptation?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hates it. He hates what
that
Kubrick
was his
did.
best one.
I think that he's jealous. I think he's jealous because a lot of people say the movie was better than the book.
Oh yeah.
He said he hates it. He says they added too much goofy stuff in there, and there's a lot of like, hidden stuff. There's a whole documentary called Room 237 that talks about how The Shining was about like the Indian genocide and stuff, and Native American genocide and things like that. And there's these, people say there's secrets like he put in there that him trying to say that he did the moon landing, like Danny's wearing an Apollo shirt and stuff. Like it just it starts out pretty good, but it's very far fetched. But it's interesting to watch. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's another one was The Shining. It's on the short list of the greatest horror movies of all time for sure. We talked about Cuckoo's Nest. I'm just looking here. Anything else come to mind?
I'm not saying it was great, but I can't think of the name of the movie where he's in with, like, is it Helen Hunt, and he's like real OCD-ish?
Is it
Greg Kinnear's in it?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. I like that movie.
Right,
it was a little bit of
as good as it gets. Right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked him in that movie.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah. It's somewhat chick flickish. I think, but
Few Good Men he was in, and then you
can't handle the truth.
One I want to hit on, and one of my favorites. It's a little new. I don't think you were a big fan, but one of my favorite movies is The Departed, where he was like a like Irish mobster.
Oh,
and it was Matt Damon and Leo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, like Boston.
Yeah.
That was good.
One was good.
He was the gangster.
He was the gangster. He was the was the head. And
the only thing I just thought, I told you that I thought that movie was just kind of far fetched because there's like cops throwing cops off.
Oh yeah,
off
absolutely.
the building and shooting.
You gotta love it.
Like in real life, if you discharge your gun, even you're like put on.
Yeah.
You're put on suspension for a while or investigation.
Hey,
and those guys are just firing each other up left and right.
Boston, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Sheen went for a ride off the roof.
Yeah.
That's just one of my favorites. I just thought it was like, I loved the story, how Matt Damon was actually with him, but pretending to be a cop while Leo was a cop, going undercover as a mobster, and it was just how it unfolded. That was just, for some reason, like one of my favorites.
A good ending.
Yeah. That was very good. Those are most of the heavy hitters, man. He's definitely. I love this being the first episode because he's 100% one of my favorites of all time. He's definitely in the.
Another chick flick is wasn't he in the one where the three witches like Cher and Bette Midler and what was the name of that one?
I think you're talking about like Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
I don't think he's in Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
I don't know where you're coming up with that.
I thought he was like
one.
the bad, like the I don't know what he was. He was kind of like the warlock or something.
I don't. Yeah, no? I don't believe so. Oh. That's a weird one.
I screwed that up.
Right. So he was in another one that's like a big movie that I never saw. Was he was in Broadcast News apparently? I don't know if you know that one.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So that Broadcast News is about two television reporters that are like rivals. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but that's again on the short list. He's still going. It seems like he's still doing stuff somewhat.
Got to be up there, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. How old do you think he is at this point?
Well, that's 50 years ago. Been in the movies for over 50 years, so I'm going to say he's like late 70s.
Late
like
70s.
78 or something like
78's the official guess. Let's see. This is our game we always play. 78. For the guests at home, we like to play the how old is this actor game, and we're both, for some reason, pretty damn good at it. But we will see. Jack Nicholson, you went low. He is 83 years old.
Oh, man.
I always like to say that I'm within, you give me a 5-year margin and I could hit it.
Bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, our timer just went off. Whoa. And, yeah, man, Jack Nicholson, great actor, great first episode for this show. Do you have anything else to wrap up on Nicholson?
No, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, man.
And like I said, I'm not the super movie buff, so I got a pretty
but it's Nicholson.
General guy. That's what I mean. So course, I felt pretty comfortable doing it. So
yeah, absolutely. It. Jack Nicholson, you're the man.
He's the man.
Keep going. All right, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on to Somewhere in Hollywood. Thanks for listening. Episode 1. We'll see you next time.